what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Stone. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of February. Get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. When we're looking out for a homeowner, we're always keeping their budget in mind. Let's put numbers together and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It is Monday. Monday night. Don't adjust your radio dial. Do not adjust your stream. Do not adjust. We know if you're listening now, you're here by choice. You got on the streams and you found us and you said, you know what? We need to be a part of what's going on. And it's a good night for it. it's a great night for it. You know why? That dude, that perennial pain in my coaching butt is back. He's a nuisance. He's a pest. And one of the best athletes I ever saw, ever coached against. He is that man. He is DeMornay Pierson-El. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Appreciate it. It's been a little journey.
Well, listen, they say that life's greatest journeys and greatest lessons have the most interesting paths. They're never straight. They're never simple. Friction is required for greatness to happen. And often for you to appreciate the good people in your space and the good things in your life, you have to see and engage them other ones. Those people that do not have your back, those people who like to speak first before thinking, who like to opinionate before knowing.
Unforeseen objects.
Right. And
situations.
Those voices from the peripheral, right? Don't really have anything to do with it, got lots to say. And those often speaking know the least about the thing that they want to opine about. The recent news highlights and examples in full. My rule for this thing that we call the ticket, and I've said it, things pop up in life. And often because we are known, we are familiar, friction shows up, nonsense shows up. It's not even choice. It's not choice. It's just stuff shows up. And I keep saying it. If you're going to cover sports, if you're going to be a voice, if you're going to be a face, people are going to come for you. Have a plan for how you're going to engage. And my rule is simple when it comes to this thing. It is far more important to be right when discussing this thing called life rather than being first. Mm-hmm. There are a ton of people that want to be first. You got something to say, got an opinion about it with zero knowledge. So when recent reports, I get a phone call and go, "Hey man, are you somewhere that we can talk?" And yes, okay. And immediately I did the thing that I know, which is I wait. Let me hear from my guy. Mm-hmm. To be 100% honest with folks, I didn't reach out because I know on your time, when things are right and in the right place, you gonna find me
and let you know.
And you gonna let me know everything I need to know about it in full.
For sure.
And out of protection, consideration, love, and admiration for you, I said, let's remove you from some of the nonsense. Because quite frankly, it's not that deep. I knew it wasn't deep. And it was not deep enough to allow people to have access to you for additional nonsense. I needed time for you to weed the yard.
Which was,
right?
Indeed.
Right? And in that discussion, we figure out, I said, here's the protocol, here's what we need. All of those boxes were checked. Every bit of compliance, every bit of legalese, everything that needs to be done was done. And then finally you texted me Friday and said, done. You sent the information. We got the information.
Case dismissed.
Case dismissed. So here's the first thing. What I would ask and what I know of you is that in your heart, there's an apology for distraction and embarrassment.
Absolutely. And I'm a team player, first and foremost. And, I keep to myself. Like I said, it was an unfortunate situation. The whole story about the situation was not out. It was a snapshot of, as you said, the first statement. And that's not, the whole picture. And I never wanted to paint my teammates, this radio station, or anybody, who actually knows, me and my personality and who I am as a person. That's not, I never wanted to embarrass the name on the front, the name on the back, where I come from or anything like that. And that was the one thing that I was, most upset about, because it painted a picture and I couldn't necessarily I was told not to, it'll get handled, and it got handled in a timely manner. Like I said, charges were dismissed. It wasn't what was said out there, and like I said, I'm can't wait till that situation is able to be told.
Through all of it, and for folks that don't know, I have known this young man since he was a preteen. So long before Lincoln, Nebraska and Huskers, I knew who the young man was. I know the street he was raised on. I know the neighborhood. I know the neighborhood. I know the people that sat on the front porch looking out for you. And when colleges came a calling, I know the coaches that stood up for you, and I knew the neighbors that stood up for you and cheered loudly for you. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we protect and defend. And I said, okay, let it play out. The first story would be what the internet does. It takes, as you called it, a snapshot without knowing the full detail. And I always lean on my guy, the mayor from Do the Right Thing. And he says, those that know don't tell, and those that tell don't know.
Because there was a lot of telling of not really knowing.
There were a lot of people on social media who had something to say. Are you surprised?
No.
Right? Like
it's I'll say this. The people that reached out, the people that know me, or the people that I have a close encounterment with, understood the situation, and you okay, you good, whenever you're in a place to talk and everything like that, we know there's more to the story. Cool. I appreciate you for knowing my character. Nebraska fans, Nebraska people and everything like that, you have your opinion to talk. I'm not mad at you for saying, what it is, and with the things that were said and everything like that. You're on the outside looking in of the situation. You have your opinion to things. It doesn't hurt me. And like I said, I rarely got, I think I maybe one or two negative, honestly, response from the whole situation and everything like that. I mean, honestly, for the whole situation to be 2 weeks and it's done and over with, that tells you of what you need to know right then and there. So I didn't have many negative, encounterments from people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what more so I was more, concerned about. But the people that don't know me personally or don't understand, the things that I've been trying to do in life and everything like that, that didn't bother me at all. And I'm not surprised. Nebraska, there's always something to talk about.
There was the positive side of people who rallied.
Mm-hmm.
And said, okay, we know you, and we know who you are. We know what you're about. There are two different lanes to go down. One, that you personally, you finished your degree.
I have degrees.
Plural. Like, when we talk about typical and stereotypes and the idea, you're not that guy. You were never that guy.
Not even close.
So what are the degrees in?
My undergrad is communications. My master's is in information assurance and security, pretty much cybersecurity. Like it's not exactly cybersecurity, but I mean, it's on the line. It's on the lines of it, mind you. And I did that and finished that in under a year and a half.
Like for people that don't get
with a 3.8,
right? Like it is the thing. There are people that talk about dumb jocks and they talk about Nebraska jocks. Nope. You're talking about somebody else. And you have to explain to people that of all the people that I would choose to be a part of this radio family, you were on purpose. You were on purpose, bro. Like the joke would be, and when I go back to Virginia, that's usually the conversation. Like, look at you two, right? And it means a lot for a lot of folks in the DMV to have you and I, DP and DPE, sitting here, because it tells the value of an employment, an education, and a neighborhood situation that builds. Mm-hmm. With some negative things around it, it builds. There's one Des Moines Pierson-El, right? And to understand that in this space, this community, this fan base, this university, this athletic program, and this station cheers for you and I, some in spite of themselves, right? But it's so profound that we, from the nation's capital, choose Nebraska. And for all the good people, we choose Nebraska. We trust the good people of Nebraska. What say you about that?
Like I said, it was an annoying 2 weeks. The circle or the mist, you can kind of say, of, the outliers or the people actually, in the circle and everything like that, definitely were realizing, even with, my attorney firm, Chandler and Conway, shout out to them. They did an amazing job. My attorney, Marcus Sladek, awesome job, has nothing but great reviews for them. They, reassured a lot, because it was a lot of, my side's not getting told.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of reassurance of there's a process to things and everything like that, trust and believe. And I think a lot of people close to the situation understood that a lot more than I did, just because it's happening to me. So, and those people who, kept me calm, kept me reassured and everything like that, we understand it's things outside of my hands that I have to kind of wait for that to, get done and everything like that. So that was a lot of, reassurance of those people that, stepped up to their batter's box and knocked it out of the park. Attorney, legal wise, and, friends, genuinely, good people to, like I said, check into things. So that was definitely in a unknown space that was new to me. For me to have, that reassurance of those people to step up and everything like that definitely cleared up a lot of just, the people that are on your side or on your team, when a lot of people necessarily weren't.
You find out
quick.
You find out. And here's the thing. Again, I don't know that people know if we drew up the perfect picture of what these degrees were for and what your highest level of intention is. What would you do with those degrees? You were in the process, right? What's ideal?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say.
Well, no, but I mean,
exactly
you could. I mean, the simplicity is you don't have to be in great detail, but there's a direction for this stuff.
Federal law enforcement is the goal,
right? Like that, for
there
people,
different agencies and everything like that. And like I said, I don't know exactly what I can speak on and everything like that, but that's the goal. So whether it's special agent or something along the lines, that is definitely the goal of like what I want to do, which is why a lot of people who knew me knew that situation, that there was, the full picture wasn't being shown.
Well, what's tougher? The process of doing all the things you have to do to get that goal to happen, or returning a punt against Michigan State?
I would say a new thing has unlocked. This whole process has definitely been. If those are my two choices and everything like that, I must say I would rather return a punt. There's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through necessarily with those processes and everything like that. I mean, it's a thorough process of stuff and everything like that. But I mean, I wouldn't trade it.
Are you proud of yourself right now?
Absolutely, on how things are handled and how things, went. And like I said, even with walking to the grocery store, walking to the mailbox, going to pick up, my daughter from school, and those interactions and everything like that of, not responding and of, well, y'all don't know my side. Like I have, my side wasn't necessarily told. So handling those small interactions on a daily basis, and I mean, people sent me stuff. I seen it. I was tagged in it, and I mean, I can't say how many different, attorney firms were in my mailbox, just, trying to, hey, so just how things went and how I was able to, I guess, stay calm, assess the situation and everything like that and persevere through it, regardless of what it may look from the outside or from what it may look or what was stacked up against. Because like I said, I understood what it was and what it wasn't. So just, keeping a level head and just, biting my tongue and understanding that, having the justice system having their part in to do things, or just to kind of let my attorney do what he went to school for and do. And like I said, that they knocked it out of the park.
Take 60 seconds and say in your own voice, your own words about the whole thing.
It's not a quick process. And I mean, anything in life, that matters or that means something shouldn't be a quick process. Resiliency, patience, and understanding, and honestly, trusting the people that know you to kind of have your back in situations, trusting the people to fight for you on a situation that I'm not a professional in.
Mm-hmm.
I have credentials that I can talk in front of and talk about sports. I have credentials where I can talk on being, a collegiate graduate. I have credentials to talk, about being a father, being, a law-abiding citizen. That field, that was, a first time for me to be in a situation to where I wasn't the pro. I didn't have, any experience and everything like that. And I have to use, a good judgment that people can go to bat for me that I don't know. I didn't know them from beforehand. That wasn't, that situation was pushed quick. So having, the fearlessness to understand what the situation is, the patience to analyze things and everything like that, to trust, in certain higher powers and whatnot, and let the professionals handle something that I'm not a professional in. And like I said, I mean, I got the turnout of what I needed to continue on my path of what I wanted to do. And, a quick turnaround. This wasn't dragged out, and I mean, I was texting you updates of stuff and everything like that, on what I could or whatnot. But like I said, it's been a very difficult situation because, like I said, it wasn't much that I could say. It wasn't, I wasn't in a place to say it. Like I said, I had a bunch of heavyweights doing that for me, and like I said, I got what I needed out of the situation. But it's not easy sitting on your hands, biting, your tongue on a situation to where I know the truth, the full truth, the clear picture of things, but necessarily Joe can walk up to me and he have whatever his opinion on it, and I gotta, it's not a time to necessarily talk about a situation. So most definitely on how things went, it definitely gave me a different avenue to a different to just to be cool and kind of, like I said, let a different professional kind of do their job.
Well, to say this to you, that I know, when the phone rang, your family here got to work. We had your back.
I appreciate that.
We had your back, and I wanted you to know, we knew you'd be back in that chair with that microphone, so we had to be patient too and do the right thing. The sports world's been waiting for you. Lots to talk about.
A lot that I missed, that I'm upset.
Yeah, well, you get an hour every night to get it right. You can get it all out your system now, brother. Speaking of, so you got a Super Bowl champion in Seattle, and the #1 team in college basketball got beat tonight. So it opened some other conversations for you. I'm going to get out of the way, yet let you and young Nick Wyman have at it for the bet. But I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Every day that I've ever known you, I've been proud of you.
Thank you.
Say that, and I mean it. Go enjoy the rest of this Don't Punt hour. And it's good to have you back at the crib.
Good to be back.
Nick, take us to break.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
If you don't have Valentine's Day plans this year, strike up some romance at Madson's Bowling and Billiards. Head to Madson's on Saturday, February 14th for the second ever Love on the Lanes, a live stage front dating show like Lincoln's never seen. The show starts at 8 p.m. live on the bowling lanes with audience participation, hilarious Q&As, and unexpected twists. Reserve VIP or standard seating by emailing sarah@madsonslincoln.com or check out their Facebook page. Come for the love, stay for the laughs, and leave with memories or a match on Valentine's Day at Madson's.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
And we're back. Nick Wyman here, Des Moines Pierson-El. DP getting out of here for tonight. I think that's why I'm here at night now. Taking over for Harrison gets off Mondays. I'm here late night in Lincoln. Kind of I knew that was a big thing for him. And those late nights, I've been able to adjust to them. And I'm a night owl, so I'm kind of used to it. So now DeMornay is here with me on Mondays. This is going to be we had that one, and it was fun. It was right after we watched the college football championship together.
Yep.
What a fun time! You called the Carson Beck interception in real time, so that was a good call on your part. But
he good for one.
And you were right. It was literally, I remember we had it on here, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, well, we just started the show. We can't really go to break here because I really want to watch this final drive. But it was a good watch party. Good final 2-minute drill, essentially, is what we watched. But there was another football game yesterday. Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots, Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. The Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl champions, second time in franchise history. First time since they were in the Meadowlands when they beat the Denver Broncos in a 29-13 win. DeMornay, just overall thoughts just on Seattle as a whole and just how they played against the Patriots and just seeing them hoist the Lombardi Trophy once again.
I think that Seattle team from this year is one of the more dominant wins and teams that we've seen. I mean, of course, the 2015 Broncos defense and everything like that. Maybe the year the Patriots beat the Rams. But from a dominant showing, it was on display early. Sam Darnold took care of the ball and everything like that. The offense wasn't flashy. They did what they needed. They made corrections and everything like that. JSN didn't have a huge game or anything like that. But I mean that defense, it was locked and loaded, and the Patriots didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, they won the battle of the trenches throughout. I mean, they just made Drake May uncomfortable is what it felt like, and that's what kind of.
I mean, coverage wise, I mean, when you're winning with 4, and or winning with 5, a late addition from a DB early on. And I mean, your left tackle is not having, the best game and everything like that. Up until that point, Drake May was playing, I would say, fairly decent. He wasn't playing terrible or whatnot. And it's not his fault that was a terrible game because he didn't necessarily play bad. I just think as a whole, as an offense, it was hard to show up. They put it together late. But by that time, I mean, the game was already out of control.
Well, he had to get the ball out quick. He ended up almost with 300 passing yards, which is kind of crazy to believe. He struggled the first half, was able to kind of put it together. It was just the offense in general. They couldn't run the ball. They only had 79 rushing yards. And most of those yards were Drake May in the second half with 37. And then they were just locked up wide receivers. Mac Hollins had the one touchdown late, and so did Ramondre Stevenson. But those guys only had 78 yards and 40 yards a pop for each. Mario Douglas had a couple catches. Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs only had 3 catches each. Seattle was just able to contain everything.
You had the under coverage. I mean, like I said, if you can win with 4, and everybody else, you can double team their number 1 guy and bait everything else. And then on top of that, your defensive line is speeding up the quarterback. So I mean, that would be definitely easy pickings. And Drake May, he's young. It's hasn't necessarily maybe seen that before, and you have other situations that you have to worry about in front of you to where that clock speeds up. I mean, it was just a perfect storm. But I mean, that Seattle defense was definitely. I think they were a more dominant team than even the Eagles last year.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
I mean, they barely trailed in the playoffs in general. I know they got the first round bye. Dominated from the opening kickoff against San Francisco. And then the Rams game was back and forth, but they led majority of the time. They only trailed for a little around a minute.
What game postseason really would you say pushed them? Even when they played the Rams. I mean, that wasn't.
It was down the stretch, but outside of that, I mean, they stopped him once, and then they just kind of held control and were able to just control the clock. And
last year in Philly, the Rams could have walked out of there, with the win or whatnot. And I mean, I thought that Eagles team was definitely a dominant team, but this Seattle team, they
were just so good off play action too. If you have a guy like Kenneth Walker, who a Super Bowl MVP, I was surprised. First running back since Terrell Davis, over 20 some years since a running back's won a Super Bowl MVP. It feels like at some point some running back had to have won it, but no.
I feel like maybe the opposing team running back that actually might have had a good game was just on the losing team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of all the other running backs that necessarily. I remember Persky Harvin having a nice game. Beast mode, you can arguably say him again, lost. Or, I mean, Russell Wilson had, a good game or something like that.
There's just so many.
Saquon Barkley, I mean, last year he didn't have a good rushing game, but people around. So I mean, Deontay is a Freeman. I think with the Falcons when they
I'm
lost.
looking at that game right now because there was a James White. He only had 29 yards rushing, but he had 14 catches for 110 yards and three total touchdowns. But Tom Brady won that one because 28-3. But
so there's been some good performances, but again, I mean, they might get equated to somebody else. That's shocking that it's taken necessarily that long, but there's definitely been some good performances where it could have went the other way as well.
Exactly. But quarterback, James White, Tom Brady, 28-3, quarterback's probably going to win it.
Oh,
it's Tom Brady. You're not going to, James White, good shout there. He had, coming out of the backfield, having over 100 yards receiving. I mean, hey, give James White his love. But Kenneth Walker finishes with 27 carries, 135 yards. He could add more.
He's getting a big payday.
Yeah, he's a free agent. Do you think Seattle's got a lot of cap room? So if they really want to, maybe I don't know, franchise tag, but that's how kind of running backs have been treated. You've seen in the past, but it's cool. 135 yards, 8th most rushing yards in a Super Bowl.
Ooh.
So he's up there. He's with some all-time greats. So I mean, yeah, if there's 20 plus other teams watching that game last night and they saw he's a free agent. I mean,
if I'm the Steelers, I'm go make that happen.
I mean, yeah, he's and they didn't have Zach Charbonnet either, who was one of their top.
And if Charbonnet was in there, it might have been a little bit different because I felt like at some point in time they were coming or going off of Kenneth Walker, and he might have been hitting free agency in a different manner. But with now, he has to be a staple part of what they're going to do, depending on who their offensive coordinator is going to be. But you can't let a running back like that in this day and age.
Yes.
4 years in, still early, prime in his career. I understand he's had some injury stuff beforehand, but again, I mean, the last 2 seasons, I feel like he's finished the season strong. You can't let that one. You can't let him out of the building.
No, it can't, because then it's like you can't replace that.
No.
You're stuck with Charbonnet, who's coming off an injury.
ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. And then you have George Halani, who's the other back from Boise State there. You just can't let that guy walk out because, the play action sets up. That's why Sam Darnold was so, he's just accurate on play. Play action was they're so good at. That's what led to one of their touchdowns. It's crazy. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 4 catches, 27 yards, banged up. If you would have told me he had 4 catches for 27 yards, I'd be like, oh, did New England win the game just the way he's been playing? But they were able to just, everybody else. Cooper Kupp, 6 catches. A.J. Barner, who had the touchdown. Tight end kind of came on in season. Rashid Shaheed had a couple catches. But they were just able to just.
And Sam Darnold missed about, I want to say maybe 2, maybe 3 touchdown throws. Shaheed should have had 2.
Yeah, and Christian Gonzalez, credit to him, he broke up a couple of big plays. I mean, if the Patriots defense they were stout for moments, and he was part of the reason why they were still in that game.
Yeah.
Being able to break up a couple. He had one over the top to Rashid Shaheed there. He kind of just got a hand in there, and then there was one on the goal line. He nearly picked it off. So Christian Gonzalez, I mean, he's legit. He's legit. But Sam Darnold, I think he's the story coming out of this just because, starts out.
How mad do you have to be if you're Minnesota?
Or the Jets. I think the Jets are still not off the hook, man.
Nah, but they wouldn't have did right by him anyway. Minnesota. I mean, so somebody. Yeah. I told Harrison this. I said that decision is going to get somebody fired in a few years.
No, their GM's gone. GM's gone now.
Literally, you let a Super Bowl winning quarterback out of your building, and y'all have a dominant defense as well. I mean, they had a top 5 defense. Their offense, I mean, this year maybe not, just because that was more so on their offense not helping them out. But you let a Super Bowl quarterback out of your building that got you, 13, 14 wins last year.
14-3 last year.
I mean, he from going from Kirk Cousins and taking the next step, because I feel like they've made some strides in the offseason with things, and definitely with their draft picks and everything like that. And you made the right jump. You got it right.
Yep.
And then you got it wrong by letting a guy like that leave. And I know they have to be. I mean, they have to vomit.
Yeah, like you said, they have a good defense. Kevin O'Connell, a good head coach. You had Brian Flores.
That came like it's that you were right there.
Yeah, and
you were literally, honestly, right there.
It's crazy to think, like, what if because he went to that playoff game against the Rams that was famously in Phoenix because of the wildfires. What if the Vikings win that game? Do they go, oh, or they say, oh, no matter what happens,
I think no matter what, they were going to stick with.
They kind of backed themselves in a corner.
And it's crazy because O'Connell was there and with Shanahan for the whole Trey Lance situation, and I don't know who was bidding for who or whatnot, but I mean he was a part of that transaction, so it's not like he hasn't seen that before. And I mean, you got to cash in and win now, and it just, like I said, I mean, I know they have to hate themselves.
Yeah, well, you look at Sam Darnold's journey, and the Jets happened, that whole predicament where they kind of just gave up on him. New coach comes in, they draft Zach Wilson, he goes to the Panthers with Baker Mayfield. They're both trying to reinvent themselves. Kind of happens. He goes to San Francisco. So this is technically a second Super Bowl. He was the backup the year when they played the Chiefs. It seemed at that moment, if you would have told me like, hey, Sam Darnold's going to be a Super Bowl starting quarterback, I'd have been like, all right, did San Francisco, Brock Purdy kind of fizzle out and they just kind of threw him in there? No, that he kind of goes to that team and just kind of tries to learn. He goes to the Vikings. That happens.
It's a heck of a movie for one day.
14-3 season. Could have been the one. They were really close to getting the 1 seed that year too. He ends up getting a wild card game against the Rams. Doesn't play well. He gets, hey, sorry, we put all our stock into J.J. McCarthy. Coming off an injury as well. And
Trey Lance. They had Trey Lance situation all over.
They had Daniel Jones there too, which Daniel Jones goes to Indianapolis before he got hurt, was winning games. So they were like, all right, Daniel Jones, you served your
purpose.
Your purpose. You were there just in case. JJ McCarthy, you're back. Back from injury. You got banged up throughout this year too. Had concussions and everything. Sorry, Sam Darnold. Thank you for your service. You're on the market. We're putting all our stock into this quarterback where we drafted him 10th overall. Sam Darnold goes to Seattle, signs a contract. And
I mean, him and Baker has the same year, 4 years, $100 million. Same deal.
And then
the same exact deal.
If you would have told me at the beginning of the year,
Gino had the same thing 2 years ago.
Yeah,
same deal.
Ends up going there in Seattle. I mean, before the year, if you'd have told me the NFC West, I'd be like, okay, I would expect the Rams and the Niners to be the favorites, just how it's been the past 4 or 5 years. And the Seattle is like, okay, maybe they get into the way Sam Darnold's playing, maybe he gets them into a wild card spot. No, they
run the table.
They were by far. They played a classic against the Rams on Thursday Night Football, beat those two teams I mentioned, the 49ers and the Rams, in the playoffs, and then they win the Super Bowl. And then Sam Darnold, of all the guys in that draft class with Baker Mayfield, Lamar, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen was in that draft. I wasn't going to mention him because he's already out of the league. But, at the time, you never know. And now Sam Darnold's the one with the ring. It's a crazy scenario. And it's like, he had 200 yards, 19 of 30. It wasn't the cleanest game, but he didn't turn the ball over. That's all they ask from you. That's all you need to do. And that's all they'll remember is, hey, you were a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's all they'll remember about you.
Game manager, or whatever it was, Super Bowl champ, put that by it.
Exactly. He was a part of a team that had just a great complementary team. They had great wide receivers. They had a running back who clearly could run the ball whenever he at will. He broke so many tackles, and you had a defense that was going to set you up.
I got a question. So which team, if they played each other?
No, not this situation.
Which team would be better?
Uh-oh.
With that beast mode, the first championship they won against.
Oh, the Legion of Boom with like Malcolm Smith.
That team versus this team now. I'm taking that team with Percy Harvin, and it's not close.
I am too, just because I think, that defense was so good. Like that Denver offense was the number 1 ranked offense in the league, and everyone's like, oh, I don't know if they'll be able to stop them. And people had critics because of just what Seattle was, and Russell Wilson was still Russell Wilson at that time, that offense, and just their defense was so good. Like that defense, I mentioned to Raph earlier, I like that the Legion of Boom, they didn't use the same slogan for they're doing the dark side, is what they're calling it. I like it. It's a new little era. They have they brought in the new Seattle uniforms. They're not new now, but they're about 10 years old now. Mm-hmm. But it's like a nice little new era of Seattle football. And I like it that they're kind of.
That coach is like I did. He is the reason why Lamar don't got a championship. I'm calling it. They let him out of Baltimore. And within 2 years, look at that.
That's crazy. And now they have Mike McDonald there. Kubiak's going to the Raiders. Kubiak's, it was pretty much already set in stone. He announced it last night that like, hey, I'm going. And that's cool for him because his dad, Gary Kubiak, won Super Bowl 50 in Santa Clara. Mm-hmm. Look at last night, Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. He's got a Super Bowl now. It's a good
full circle moment.
Good chapter end for him too, because that's his end of Seattle, and no one's going to blame him for taking a head coaching gig.
No,
he goes to the Raiders where they're in desperate need of some stability.
A lot.
I mean, you got John Gruden, Antonio Pierce, Josh McDaniels, Pete Carroll. Those are like the last 4 coaches in how many years? Like 5. It's not
Maybe
much.
6.
Not much stability. You've had quarterbacks. Geno Smith came in at what it was. I mean, maybe they get Fernando Mendoza with the number 1.
If I'm not mistaken, was Kubiak in Seattle that last year where it was 10? They went 10-7.
I'll look here.
I don't know if he was the offensive coordinator.
He's been the offensive coordinator since. No, he was not. He was not. This was his first year as offensive coordinator, but he's bounced around. He was the pass game coordinator in 2023 with the Niners. Last year, 2024, he's with the Saints.
Oh, Saints.
Saints. But yeah, he's bounced around the league. He was at Denver in 2022, Vikings 2021, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach of the Vikings 19-20, back with Denver, and then
he can make some things happen with Geno. You can draft Fernando. You don't have to
start him.
That will be the smart thing. And honestly, they will probably have to trade Max, which makes me sick. But I mean, you're going to get at least two first rounders and maybe a 4th for him, or a 4th in a compensation pick later on and whatnot. And you're going to have a monster year, kind of like what the Bears did with signing a lot of veteran guys to the offensive line to kind of hold you over. And I mean, hopefully within 2 years we can see where things are at.
Yeah, the AFC West is going to be interesting because you have the Chiefs right now. Mahomes injured. Who knows if he's back? Week 1, Bo Nix is injured. Who knows with that? And then you have the Chargers there who are bringing in Adam Gase and Mike McDaniel to their coaching staff now alongside Harbaugh. That's a conversation.
It's going to be interesting in the AFC West.
That'll be a conversation for another day, but it will be interesting. All playing in domes in a couple of years too. I don't like that. They're all going to be dome stadiums because Denver's getting a dome. Chiefs are going to get a dome. Not a fan. Football's an outdoor sport.
Again, football. I mean, it makes the money go, and where's the money at? Excitement. So it was going to happen sooner.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to take a break. We'll talk about a little bit of Nebraska ball and some other things going around college basketball when we come back. He's Good Morning Pierson. I'm Nick Wyman. We'll be right back here on 93.17 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100, or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back. Don't Punt Hour here with DeMornay Pierson-El. Nick Wyman pressing the buttons here at 1040 O Street, 91.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or on Allo Channel 961. DeMornay Pierson-El, me just got done talking about Super Bowl 60 with the Seattle Seahawks coming out with a 29-13 win over the New England Patriots. But moving on to another sport, Nebraska basketball. They are back home, got back in the win column after 2 losses, which were not bad losses. You lose to 2 top 10 teams currently, Michigan and Illinois. But you get back in the win column against Rutgers, and that is just what you want to do. You just wipe the slate clean, move on. A loss was going to come at some point. It's hard to go undefeated in college basketball. As we saw tonight, Arizona, number 1, suffering their first loss.
Down goes Frazier.
Yep, down. They felt like they were kind of a team where they were just untouchable at times, and they have a test. They play BYU coming up, play Iowa State, the top of the Big 12, and now they face their first test in the Big 12 at the top. And Kansas, who's rolling, ran into them 82-78. The Jayhawks get the win in Lawrence, and that's there's only one more undefeated team in college basketball, Miami, Ohio, the Red Hawks and the MAC, undefeated. And they're pretty good. I mean, they've won some close games, but hey, if they run the table, I mean, play who you got to play. And they're winning games. And they're winning some games in conference play, but hey, it is what it is. If they go undefeated, I don't know how you seed them because of the conference, but
I would probably say one of the higher seeds.
Okay.
Lower seeds, not higher seeds, but I mean, at some point in time, you know, a run's going to come to an end.
Exactly. That's
you rather it now than in crunch time or along the lines of that. You can kind of build yourself and put the pieces back together after the situation and everything like that. So probably, you know, need a thing, hit a reset button and everything like that, regroup and, you know, continue attacking.
Yeah, so they had, you know, lose to Illinois and Michigan, you know.
Which are not bad losses.
Yeah, Michigan, you're on the road, close game, just how it happens. You missed it.
You were 3 starters?
You were down Rink Mast, who was sick, who ended up going to the ER, dehydration and whatnot, and then Braden Frager was out. So you're down 2 of your top 4 scorers and still only lost by 3 points to now ranked number 2 Michigan. And then that happens, and you go to Illinois. Illinois at the time was the hottest team in college basketball. Keaton Wagler scored 46 against Purdue, and he came in, scored 5 in the first half, still finished with 20-plus easily against Nebraska. Nebraska kind of a little undersized against them. That Illinois team can shoot lights out and get rebounds, and that's what happened. Nebraska,
it was their night.
Exactly, and they were just the hottest team in college basketball. Hey, they lost to Michigan State this past weekend. Michigan State's now ranked number 10. Illinois is ranked number 8. It is what it is. You know, it's a grind of conference basketball. Nebraska makes the trip out to Piscataway this past Saturday. Comes away with an 80-68 win. Rink Mast, 26 points to lead the team. First time he's led them in scoring since December. That's just, I mean, if you have multiple guys
that can get it done and step up, I mean, like it's good to have that in your back pocket.
And they did. You know, Price Stanford had his 2-week run where he was scoring at will, pretty much. Felt like everything he threw up, he could shoot from the parking lot, and everything was going in with that guy. And now you have a guy like Rink Mast, who took over 11 for 20 from the floor, only made 3 of 4 from the free throw line, only didn't really attempt many threes, and was able to just establish himself in the paint and go to work. And he's been a guy where it's been the last couple months where they need him to step up, and having him go into tomorrow night. They're playing number 13 ranked Purdue, another top 15 matchup at PBA. And Purdue has kind of been a weird team. They were, rolling throughout the year, knocking wins down from Minnesota all the way to USC. And then they go out to LA and they lose to UCLA. They lose to them. Then they play Illinois. The game mentioned, Wagler scores 46 points, 88-82. Guy single-handedly carries the Fighting Illini to a win in a tough environment. And then they played Indiana and they lost by 5 to them. Indiana, a weird, rival. So that's a tough one to swallow. But then they get back on the road, beating Maryland by 30. And then on Saturday, they squeezed out a 68-64 win over Oregon, who's near the bottom of the Big Ten. So I'm going to assume Purdue is going to have everything to put together, and they're going to be a team that is, because they're usually a team that's hard to beat, and they're never going to be off.
Fundamentally sound. It's one of those. It's a tough Big Ten matchup. It's just that's just what it is. They play good basketball. They recruit good there. They run a good system. They're usually a good program put together, and you know what you're getting once you're going up against them.
And they have one off night or 2 off nights a year, and they've kind of already got those out of their system. They go back. Duke went out against Oregon, but they handled business against a Maryland team who's near the bottom as well. So exciting one. 7 versus 13. Nebraska. It just got to play your ball, I think. You have everybody kind of back together. I think last week was kind of a blessing in disguise where you have the no midweek game. They got luck. The scheduling couldn't have worked out any better, where guys are getting back healthy and you get a full, Sunday to Monday to Friday off to not play a game. And then you play a game Saturday, come back home, and now you get another ranked matchup at home, which should be, it's hard to get.
It's going to be electric. It's going to be a good game.
6:00 tomorrow night. Should be a fun one. I'm very excited. 6:00, FS1. We'll have post-game coverage here as well. So it should be a very fun one. After that, Nebraska, the rest of their schedule, you look, it's not, this is the last ranked team currently they're playing. A lot can change. That's college basketball. They go on, got Iowa twice in there, but then they got Northwestern, who they played before. Hard to beat a team twice is the cliche, but that's here now. Nebraska's 4 of the next 5 at home. And then they have the road trip out west. They play USC and UCLA at the end of February or early March.
UCLA might be one of those ones. Arenas is just starting to come alive and everything like that. But as long as you handle business and whatnot, everything is still in front of you. Everything's still on the table, as long as you don't start slipping and falling and everything like that. But again, like I said, reset and dominate this last little stretch, and then see where things get you.
They still have the conference tournament too in there, so you have the games ahead: UCLA, USC, etc. And then right now they'd be the 3rd seed in the Big Ten tournament, which is I believe it's a double bye because they redid the tournament because they're adding everybody in now. So they would get a quarterfinal matchup with UCLA would be the quarterfinal matchup. And then after that, you'd probably get another rematch with Illinois if it was set right now, which it isn't. There's still 4 or 5 weeks left of regular season play. And there's a lot of opportunities still to boost your resume because you have a conference tournament with a very top heavy with Michigan State, Purdue, Nebraska, Illinois, and et cetera. There's a lot of opportunity left, which I'm excited to see. Tomorrow night should be a really fun one. 6:00. It's Purdue. Nebraska has beaten them here before. They were number 1 at one point a couple years ago.
Exactly. Like I said, it's one of those big. Like I said, it's one of those ones you're gonna have to join in and see and everything like that. And it's going to have a lot. There's a lot to come off of that, because either way it goes, it definitely builds your resume. It only strengthens it. It doesn't hurt you.
Exactly. If you lose to a ranked team, what are you going to do? Tip your cap and you move on. So we're going to get out of here. Good morning. First time sitting in studio with you. Awesome time. Talk Super Bowl. I got the Super Bowl and the national championship with you. What a duo. I couldn't have asked for a better day after the Super Bowl. So we're going to let you get out of here. Late night Lincoln with me. Coming up here at the top of the hour, you're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With UBT,